A lot of people asked me about 3 months before school quit at the end of the year. I don't have any more kids at GISD, so I've been asked a lot, what are you going to do with your time now? Because it consumes, doing an organization like that, if you do it right, it consumes all of your time. My kids, didn't have clean clothes, they didn't have dinners. It consumes all of your time. And I kind of laughed at them and I said, well, I don't know. And now I know. I would like to bring back the SAD organization, the chapter in Hood County. And for those of you think it's Students Against Drunk Driving, and it's formally called that, but they've expanded their name, and now they're called Students Against Destructive Decisions, because even though they zero in on drinking and driving, and that's their main focal point, but they also want to cover a broad spectrum of a bunch of destructive decisions that teenagers and students make, such as, the decision to do drugs, or the decision to commit suicide, or the decision, whatever that destructive decision is, there's an organization that they can come to, that they can find help, and they have resources. It's set aside, it's its own organization and its own chapter, where the school would work with the SAD organization, and there are some adult sponsors, but then like the board of directors, who would be your presidents, your vice presidents, those are going to be kids that run for those offices. The kids pretty much are the face of SAD, because they go to different conventions, seminars, nationwide and statewide, and they get a whole slew of resources, and they take it back to their chapter, because, to be honest, students are going to listen to their peers before they're going to listen to an adult say, put on your seatbelt, don't drink, don't drive, don't do this, don't. They see us as nagging, and they just shut it off. But the best way to hit other students is through kids their own age. And so basically, in a nutshell, that's what SAD is. With Project Graduation, it was already set. There was already a bank account. There was already a tax number. The community knows about it. There's fundraisers. There were funds in the bank already. This would be something that we would start from the ground up. And I would need support from different parents that are willing to get on board. I have 2 teachers at the high school that have said, hey, let me know, I want to be the sponsors to work with you from the school and the student standpoint once GISD, gets on board and says they're willing to do this. There's a lot that has to be done, but I believe this is what we can do. We're not going to save everybody, but I believe that SAD would be a good time. Parties don't just happen on Friday and Saturday nights. And I believe that if we had a SAD chapter and we had, motivated kids, we could have something like Project Graduation, maybe in a smaller scale, after prom night.
What I see in Hood County and Granbury. But I've done some pretty extensive research on it in the last 2 weeks. What I am proposing to do is to institute a safe ride program in Hood County under a 501c3 nonprofit, with the name of the nonprofit being URBA, which would stand for United Rides by Others. I spoke with the Urbanovskys. They said that they would be very honored to have this in place. But let me go over some of the aspects of what a safe ride program really is. You have them at almost all of the major colleges, both in the state of Texas and across the United States. Most of these safe ride programs are based on a safe ride program that had been developed by the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. In fact, their website outlines a whole plethora of how you establish it, how you establish funding, how you establish protocols, your standard operating procedures. And I've been through all of that on their website. So what I did was I looked at 3 colleges. I looked at Texas A&M. I looked at Tarleton's TAP program is based on Texas A&M's. I looked at Stephen F. Austin's Jack Rides, which is based on Texas A&M. So I've been on the phone with both the Tarleton director of that program and the director at Texas A&M, who's over the program there. Matter of fact, Texas A&M has sent me their entire operations manual of how the entire program's run. So let me go over some of the aspects of how I see, just my ideas, doesn't mean that's the way it's got to be, just some ideas that I have on this based on talking to these people who have been involved in programs that Texas A&M's has been there for over 16 years. They've provided over 96,000 rides through this program. Same with Tarleton, same with SFA. They both have those levels of ridership through a school year. And when I say a safe ride program, I want to make sure that everybody understands what I'm talking about is it's a safe ride program for people. It doesn't single out drinking. It doesn't single out underage. It doesn't single out anything other than it is a safe ride program to save the life of someone who feels that they either can't drive, are afraid to drive, or went to a party with somebody who's now drinking and driving and they want a safe ride home. So when you talk to the people, at least the two programs that I've talked to, these directors are very strong to emphasize the fact that they have a large percentage of their ridership has nothing to do with drinking. There are other reasons that people ask for the safe ride.